My name is Monique Benoit. I recently graduated from the Tepper School of Business with my MBA. Prior to Tepper, just going through my professional background, I have a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering from the University of Michigan. And I knew from a very early point, I would say my fourth year of undergrad, I realized that, hey, this engineering thing really isn't for me, but it's too late to switch majors. So I'm just going to try and find something that mixes business and engineering. So I landed a job at GE working in technical sales. I was working at power plants, wearing hard hats, steel-toe boots. I thought I was getting away from engineering, but that job was probably more engineering related than I realized. The good thing about that job is that GE was a great company. I learned a lot, and I got to work with a customer, and I realized that that was something I really enjoyed. So after 3 years at GE, I decided that I wanted to hone those business skills more, and left GE for the advisory board company, which is a small healthcare consulting company where I manage contract renewals. So I got to talk to chief medical officers, operating officers, chief executive officers at hospitals and healthcare systems across the country to essentially ask them, how are we doing? And are you going to continue doing business with us for, a particular product? And learned a lot about troubleshooting and working on teams there, and realized that I had a real knack for it and an interest for that kind of work. And, applied to business school thereafter. Had my daughter in between before I started working at the advisory board company, and originally planned on applying for my MBA then, but put those plans on hold since I was expecting. And just as luck would have it, things just worked out after 2 years at the advisory board company. Looked at applying again. My parents were moving to Pittsburgh. I knew there were a couple of good business schools out there. And so I decided to see what I could, if I could make lemonade out of lemons, and thankfully that all worked out. For me, as I said, I originally had planned on going through the MBA program for fall 2012 entry. So I had applied to MLT, I was accepted, I was studying for the GMAT, and then I found out that I was expecting. So I had pretty much done a lot of the prep work in 2011, I would say, but decided in the end that that wouldn't be a good time for me to apply, just because I was going to be a new mom, and just decided that was going to be too much for me. So, when my parents said, hey, we're moving, I just said, okay, well, I'd like to be close to you guys. Let me see if this MBA thing can happen. And I was able to apply to a few schools in the Pittsburgh area, get some financial support, full support from a tuition standpoint from both of the schools that I applied to. And so then that kind of just made the decision easy, because it was a no-brainer from a career perspective. And, that made the financial burden a lot less heavy, which was the only thing that was holding me back at that point. I knew that it was a great next move for my career. My daughter was young. She was 2 years old. Having that, having my parents close by was a huge help. I don't know that I would have done it if I didn't have them close by for that first year, just because it was so crucial for her to be so young, and me to be starting such a rigorous program. So it was definitely a little bit of all of those things coming together that made the decision work for me, having a conversation with them, making sure that they were on board and supportive, and they were. And so I just went for it.